What's going on, guys? Bronco Bassin 227 back here again with another video on my series of how to build a pond fishing bag. Today's video, we're going to be talking about my next setup, which is going to be spinnerbaits and topwater frogs. This is probably my weaker of the 4 boxes that I'm going to be talking about. I haven't really fished a whole lot of frogs as well as spinnerbaits. That's, one thing I'm tasking myself this year, more so with spinnerbaits than the frogs, because I have fished frogs in the past, but I'm going to be focusing more on spinnerbaits, and I'm likely going to be upgrading this a little bit kind of as I get into the fishing year. But, as I do that, I'll talk through some of the things that I'm going to be trying out. But without further ado, here's the box. Now, before I go into what's specifically in this box, I want to talk about this box itself, right? So this is the Plano 3600 Edge series, which has been consistent with what I'm using for this tackle bag setup. But the one thing that's different about this box is this is their Flex series box, right? So when you get it, there's nothing in here. None of these dividers are in here. They all come in a big pack like this, right? And so you can basically set this thing up any which way that you want. I can likely see myself making some adjustments here as I kind of grow a little bit. I focused on what kind of works for me. The one thing that, again, like I said, I'm lacking on a little bit is some spinnerbait colors that I want. I'm still trying to figure that out, since I never really threw them that much, which I can't imagine why I haven't. It's just, it hasn't been something that I've really focused on all that much, but I'm definitely looking forward to giving this thing a go this year and seeing what it's about. So with that being said, let's flip the camera over and let's look inside this Plano Edge 3600 Flex box. All right, so like I said, this is my frog spinnerbait setup box. One thing I didn't mention earlier that I should have is I'll likely maybe, we'll see, is throw some buzz baits in here. That's another one I don't really throw all that often, but as I'm working some things out in my mind, eventually I may just turn this into a spinnerbait buzz bait box and then find kind of something different for the frogs, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But for the time being, this is going to be the setup. Colors are pretty basic for me as far as the frogs go. Here, I haven't thrown this frog yet. This is the Booyah. I think it's the Pad Crasher Junior. Definitely a smaller profile. I can't even remember what the color this is, but I feel like it's got a nice soft body, and I like that the hooks are pointed upward so you don't have to take the pliers and bend them out. The other one that I'm pretty excited to give a go this year, again, this is the Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher. This is the full size. Again, nice and soft. This one, however, I'm going to have to take and bend the hooks up. I feel like you get a little bit better hook set when you do it that way. Here as well, I've got the KVD Sexy Frog. I think that's what they call it. Again, the hooks are somewhat pointed upward a little bit. Maybe adjust them a little bit more, but again, kind of a natural frog color. Same with this is Spro Bronze-Eye Frog. I think everybody knows these and everybody's fished these. A little bit harder body than some of the other frogs that are here, but these things definitely catch fish. I've been a big fan of the Spro Bronze-Eye Frogs. And then same thing, I got a couple more, something kind of with a black bottom and then a white. I like to keep things pretty basic with frogs. The blacks, the whites, and something kind of a little natural tends to work a little bit better for me. I mean, as you can see, a lot of these have that white bottom. So these are a few of my favorite colors. Again, I'm going to be trying out some different frogs throughout the year, but so far I keep the ones that I know will work, and then, trying a couple new ones out this year is just to kind of see. So Spinner baits, again, like I said, I'm pretty weak in the spinner bait game. I've got a few Strike King spinner baits here. It's just some kind of like a shad pattern, a chartreuse sexy shad. Again, another shad pattern. All these are, I think the chartreuse sexy shad is a ½ ounce. The rest of these are 3/8. And then I've got a Booyah spinnerbait. I've fished with these before. It's just a chartreuse white. But looking forward to giving that one a go. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll wrap this thing up. So like I said, this is the one box for me that I think there's a lot of improvement in how I fish and what I can do that I can really maximize my use out of this. These are probably the most two techniques next to likely a buzzbait that I really just don't fish all that often, and I really don't know why, because spinnerbaits catch a ton of fish, frogs catch a ton of fish, and so do buzzbaits. But like, this is going to be one I'm going to likely improve on this a little bit throughout the year, but I kind of wanted to give you an example of how I'm going to lay this out. And obviously, you know, you can, with these flex boxes, you can adjust it however you want. And that's kind of the nice thing about this, especially when it comes to spinnerbaits, because it's so hard to find storage for those without having to get the big bulky ones that, you know, you set them on the little slides, whatever you want to call them, that are in those. And I feel like it allows you to be able to utilize that in your tackle bag without having to have something big and bulky with it. You know, I'm also looking for recommendations. If you guys got, you know, some frogs or some spinner baits that tend to work for you, definitely let me know. This, like I said, this is one technique, mainly the spinner baits, that I'm really wanting to focus on this year. And I'm going to be definitely upgrading more than what's in there currently right now. But, you know, for the sake of keeping content going, I at least wanted to get you guys something and kind of show you kind of how I'm preparing this as I go. So yeah, make sure to, you know, check out all the other videos if you're just jumping into this one. I've started this whole series. I'm basically calling this my beginner series. So I'm walking through kind of the basics of how to build a pond bag to take bank fishing. I know a lot of people that tend to watch YouTube videos, they not always have a boat, and especially a lot of the younger viewers, they do a lot of pond hopping. Even people like me. I mean, I don't have a boat right now. The long-term plan is to get one, hopefully within a couple years. But you know, right now I just strictly do pond hopping, or you know, I alluded to this in my last video, I'm going to likely be fishing a couple of co-angler tournaments and what was the BFL. I can't remember what MLF calls it now, but so, you know, that'll likely, I could use that as a co-angler bag. So you could definitely capitalize if you're a co-angler and using this bag. Once I get through this whole series to kind of help guide you on how to prepare to set this bag up. And again, you can take these concepts and you can apply them any way that you want. You know, nobody's saying how I have these set up is exactly how you need to have them set up. You know, maybe what you fish is different types of water that you more or less fish, maybe deeper diving crankbaits, or maybe you really need the heavier spinner baits versus some of the lighter ones, or whatever. You know, that's the perfect thing about this series that I'm wanting to get across, is to show you that really you can put a lot into these little Plano 3600 tackle trays and maximize what you're taking. You know, the problem with me is I had a big Plano Guide Series tackle bag for the 3700 size that I took to the pond with me every time I went fishing, and it was loaded full of every single tackle that I had, and there's no need for me to do that. I feel like with this is going to give me enough tools to be able to not be overloaded with tackle, but still have enough where I've got a little bit of a variety to where if one color's not working, I can switch to the next one. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I've been noticing a lot of people watching my videos have mainly not been subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. You know, I know a lot of my videos aren't as tech savvy, and, you know, I don't even know how else to put it other than tech savvy compared to what some of the other people are doing. And, you know, that's eventually going to change. We're eventually, like I said, we got the GoPro. We're going to be working on getting some good editing software especially once fishing season starts, and really be able to kind of change how these videos are and how the content's going to look. So, you know, hit that subscribe button, you know, right along with this journey with me. I really enjoy fishing, for one, and I really enjoy, you know, talking about what works for me. That's one thing I always look at when I'm making YouTube videos or even watching YouTube videos. You know, I love to see the different perspectives that everybody has, because not everybody's got the same process in how they think to approach, you know, bodies of water, how they think to approach a pond. And, you know, it allows me to be able to look and say, oh, okay, you know what? I've never thought about that. Maybe I'll give that a try. So that's what I'm trying to hope. I'm not trying to say, you know, you guys take what I say and how I do it and take it as gospel, because that's not the case at all. You know, what works for me may not work for you, but if I can maybe give a different idea, maybe a different perspective on why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, you know, maybe it's something that somebody wants to pick up on and give it a go. So, yeah, so make sure to hit the subscribe button right along with this journey with me. Trust me, it's going to get a lot better, especially once it starts warming up. Make sure to hit the like button. I know there's a little bell down there if you want to be notified anytime my videos are coming out. Make sure to check those out. I'm trying to stay on schedule with roughly a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video postings. I may try to get something in on the weekends. I know once fishing starts and where I can get out on and get in the water and fish, the schedule may change a little bit, but I'm going to try to stay consistent with 3 videos a week. You know, could potentially have 4, but we'll see kind of how it goes. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.